that are going out. One thing that you might have noticed, there's a lot of great business tools, shareables in the app. Those were the most shared. I hope we start to see that shift a little bit. Don't be afraid to share the opportunity that this is. One other thing Samson mentioned that I want to call out. A lot of companies say we have the best compensation plan. I've been in this industry for going on 19 years. I've done tons of analysis on different companies. I've been hired by companies to come in and look at their compensation plan. I've done that for years. I've not seen a compensation plan this rich in all of my experience. And that's a huge kudos to Daniel, who believes that should be our priority. The power of three, that's extra money on top of an already incredibly rich compensation plan. If you don't take advantage of it, you are missing out. We put this in place not just to have some additional bonuses for 90 days. We put this in place because it will strengthen your business going forward. If you talk to me, I'm going to be reaching out and getting to know some of you better over the next few months. I'm going to be asking, how are you using the power of your three in your business? Who's having success with it? We're going to focus on that over and over, so just want to share that. I have the privilege of welcoming our next speaker up to stage. She did an incredible job closing the event yesterday. Even though I'm new in three, over the last couple months, I've gotten to know Kim very well. Her reputation in the industry, of course, precedes her, and I've been in the industry for a while. I knew who Kim was, but I never had the chance to meet her until recently. And it didn't surprise me, but what I noticed immediately, when we're talking and we're having meetings, she never ever talks about herself. She's talking about you and how we can help the company and the team grow. And I've seen that passion, and it makes me very excited to work and be a part of this. So, Kim, let's welcome her up to stage. Come on up, Kim.
Human construct, right? I would say this. I couldn't help but the whole yesterday and today, I couldn't help but echo what Daniel was saying. That there's such talent in this room. There's such gift in this room. That I have the blessing and the opportunity to meet many of you. And I was sitting back there, reminiscing the journey that we took the last 2 years, almost 2 years, and the faces I get to meet the last couple of days. And last night, when I went to Holly DeMont's suite, meeting that group of beautiful people, you guys, sometimes in this space, you meet people, you see people, because you've been through the journey that you know what's possible for them. But at the same time, you also know that as a leader, we have to hold space for their growth. We have to hold space for the learning curve. And I am so super proud of Dr. Alicia. I am so super proud of Lisa Holobowski. I still remember when I was on that journey, going to Midwest or wherever I was, it was freezing cold. And that was Lisa. She let her husband waiting outside the car, like for a couple hours, because she wants this. And thank you for being here. You have no idea, the last 2 years, I've been to many countries and many cities in the US. It's coming back to this home here and seeing you all over again. It brings that joy. It's literally, it brings that vibration of bliss in my heart, seeing that you are here. Because I know what we're doing. I know what we're in this for. And I wanted, just like Daniel, we wanted so much for everybody, because I know what's possible. And you heard the story of my part of my journey. And so what I'd like to do this morning is to pivot a little bit. Yesterday we talked about the three journeys, right? The emotional part and the logical part. And then because of that one word, I forgot the last part, which was the experiential. And so what I'd like to do today is I'm going to talk about the experiential journey. And it's sometimes in this world, that's how the universe works. Maybe it wasn't time yesterday to talk about the experiential until today. The speaker that will line up in front of you today, it is after 31 years, hearing all these incredible leaders to pour their heart out, sharing their wisdom, their experience. I was sitting back there, I said, yes, 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 yes. It is. This is life. So it now brings you to the last part of the journey. It's the culmination of all the work that we have done, all the sharing, all the talks that the speakers have done. And so I'm going to bring that on the last slide. And I promise you, we took out that, we corrected all the wordings. So the experiential journey is about the shift. As you got in, you learn about it, you're going through the different emotions, the learning curves. Then you understand more about the logic of how this business works. Then you as a human being, as an individual, we begin to shift. That shift, for some people it happens quicker, but for some others, again, it depends on our upbringing, depends on our training, our paradigm, our patterns, our belief patterns. It's different for everybody. But there will come a moment when you begin to get it. That's what they call the aha moment. That shift happens is that when you realize that this business is people over profits. Why is it that sometimes people don't want this industry? Because most people, a lot of people, and I could tell you, the last 31 years, most people it's about transactions. Making a sale, making a sale, making a sale. It's transactional. But when you truly understand the power of this platform, it's truly people over profits. So how do we go about doing that? That over time you will learn, in this journey, you will learn that instead of recruiting people, it's about inspiring other people. Look at all of you here this weekend, from yesterday to today. Every single talk, it's about empowerment. It's about inspiring you, giving you instructions, their life stories, their experiences of how they got to where they are. So this is about inspiring people rather than recruiting people. And I know that was sitting back there, I know that some of you had invited some guests here. I want you to get this. Whoever invited you here, it's not to get you to do something. That this, for some people, it could be a gift of a lifetime. Like it has for myself, for Samson, and many others. So learn to inspire people rather than recruiting. Then, Adrian, Holly, Demont, all the people I talk about, Jessica Johnston, it's about connecting. So it's a lot of times when most people on this platform, they started pitching the opportunity, pitching product, pitching. Learn to connect first. There's a reason why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. That means we're going to listen. Some of you get to travel with me closely when I go to somewhere or when I have dinner, lunch, and even in an Uber ride. I learn to ask questions and I listen first. Because that's how you connect with people. Because if you sit down and start talking about 3 of this amazing product, people, what do they see you as? A salesperson. You're pitching. So you don't want to stop pitching. Start to connect. There a lot of people are so busy about message out. Like getting the message out there. Even in a training like this. If you're in the training, some people got so excited, start blasting text in the group. I always tell people, when the meeting session's going on, don't blast stuff. Let people soak in. Why is that important? Because it's not about message out. It's about message in. Who needs to get that message first? You yourself. when you not only get it in your heart, but truly to get it in your heart, to truly connect to that feeling of how you feel here the last 2 days. So connecting first. Instead of message out, message in. Because so many times I see people go to events, go to a training, they get so excited before they even digest and process the information, they begin to like message out, boom, I'm gonna send it to my group. Well, your group are not here, you are here. Get it in you, in every cellular level, get that feeling of how it makes you feel, why you're doing this. Next, learn to build trust. Instead of selling, learn to build trust with people. Over the years, I would tell you, I've got friends in this space over 30 years. 30 years of friendship in this space, and I kept it. Because you gotta build trust. People over profits. When you're doing this business, this industry, because we are the shift in this industry. We are doing a whole entire facelift of this industry. And you are the agents of change. So that change has to come from within. When people know that you care about them, they will begin to listen. So, the next part of the shift is about coaching and encouraging. And what I mean by that is this. In this business, I never push product, I never push opportunity. The one thing I do push when I'm working with leaders, I do push the boundaries of their belief about themselves. You push the boundaries, you inspire them to believe in themselves. That's the only thing you challenge. You don't challenge them to take the product. You don't challenge them to buy the bigger packages or to buy any package, but you challenge on their boundaries, on their beliefs, what they have for themselves. The last but not least on the shift in this space, when you spend enough time in this industry, is something that I've learned in this industry. Some of you, especially if you're from Sedona, you're probably very familiar with this term. Called you learn to hold space. You learn to be holding space for humanity. You learn to be holding space for your team members. That when you see people, I'll give you a perfect example. Lisa Holobowski, one of the hardest working girl I know. She wants it so bad. Kept pushing, pushes so hard on herself. You know, I watch her work so hard. Sometimes leaving her kids at home and she'd go to a different city and build. All I could do was hold space for her. I watched Dr. Alicia. I know she wants 4-star, 5-star so bad. And the work ethic that she's putting in, she deserves to be that. But we all have the learning curve. The Timmons, Gary and Frida, you were in Asia with us. I know what your heart's about. And the whole time, unbeknownst to you perhaps, I was holding space. My beloved Sedona, Joey, Linda, Ron, many of you, and our iconic Kristen Pearson, Jessica Johnston. You guys are multi-million-dollar earners, iconic figures in this space, and yet you're willing to start from zero, work your way up like all of us. From a brand ambassador, become qualified. 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, pro, elite, 4-star. Have you ever thought about a lady who's #1 worldwide in a pink Cadillac company? That's here. In my mind's eye, in my heart's eye, she's way beyond any stars that could live. And yet she never let any rain stop her. She shows up as soon as 6 a.m. at 82 years old. Christine, you are on the stage. Everybody give up to Christine. You are the iconic figure for American spirit. She'll walk away from her check to be here. Think about that. Gary, who's never been in this space, walk away from real estate. After he won an 18-city tour in America, then he went to Asia tour. He goes, that's it. I found meaning. I love this thing that, I forgot the name of the CEO now, that he's lying to recruit somebody, to recruit a CEO for his company. He recruited a lady who worked for Pepsi Cola or something like that, don't quote me. And you know what he said to this lady? He says, do you want to, oh, this is the Apple, this is Steve Jobs. He said that to, I forgot the name of the person that he was talking to the CEO of another company. You know what he said? You know how he recruited this lady to work for him at Apple? He says, do you want to sell sugar water for the rest of your life? Or would you like to join me to change the world? That is vision. That is vision. Think about that. Whatever you're doing right now, if it puts food on the table, do that. But if you found meaning and a calling, a sense of a resonance that resonates with your heart, that resonates with your being, do something. The last 31 years, besides money aside, the most rewarding thing that I have experienced in this lifetime so far is this. I had the blessing to travel to 50 countries, speaking around the world. And you know one thing that I observed? There's one common thread. And I know it's about to change with me. That one common thread is that most people are living and walking through life as observers, rather than as participatory. Rather than participating in their life, they just are observers. But when you're an observer, time passes you by, we lose meaning. How many of you truly can feel it in your being that you too are meant to live in abundance? How many of you feel that? How many of you know that you are more to give in this lifetime than what you are now? How many of you know that? How many of you want to participate in the abundance of what life is meant to be lived on earth? How many of you feel that? Participate in that. You know, science have been studying find the edge of the universe. Until now, they can't find the edge of the universe. And you know why? Because this is a participating, participatory universe. The more you look into it, with the Hubble telescope, when they thought they saw the edge, they looked into it, they found something else. That is life. Be a part of this. All the people that walk across stage, all the speakers that shared, we are no different than you. The only difference is perhaps two things. We work a little harder and put a little more time, a little more effort than you have. And yet we get to share our experience in building something magnificent. Something that gives meaning, gives fulfillment, bringing vitality and health to other people. It is a journey. And I hope that this weekend has given you that. For this part of the experiential journey, this is just, we are all tapping the surface of life. This is only part of the experiential journey. As for myself, what this journey has done for me is allowed me to tapping in and living a better version of myself. I am very grateful for all of you. I'm grateful for your presence. You have no idea what this project means for me. This country has blessed me and my family so much. And I want to give back. A couple of years ago, I was questioning everything that was happening in this world. I was questioning everything that I was taught about life. And And there had been a point in my life, I was like, what can I do? I'm just one little girl. What can I do? You know, sometimes when you're brave enough to walk that path, and when you live your truth, this is what experiential journey is about. That you gotta have the bravery to live your truth. Be who you are and live who you are. And go out there and touch someone's lives. Go out there and make an impact. Some of you know the story. Truly. Another million, 2 million, 10 million, 100 million ain't gonna make no difference to me. If I were to check out, I can't take a dime with me. Nor do I want to. Because I'm not coming back. And what I like to do, and I like to do this so that you will see, a lot of people see the stage side of me. They see the stories that they hear. And I'm brave enough to do this today, and they don't know I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this real quick. I want to share with you who I was 31 years old. You know, sometimes, you will learn somebody from someone that's very close to you. I want to share with you a part of my life, 31 years ago. Not through my mouth, but through somebody else. And I'm going to share with you of who this journey who I became from someone else's eyes. And with that, I hope you see visually that we are all the same. Not this outside bodysuit, but what's deeper. I like to call up my friend for 31 years. When I was a trying entrepreneur, that when the first company I worked for, when they filed bankruptcy, I lost everything. I moved back to LA. I had no place to stay. And this dear friend of mine says, Kim, you can stay in my apartment. And you can take my bedroom. He's a brother. Can you all help me welcome Ken on stage? Ken and I met 31 years ago in Hawaii. I was a young entrepreneur through a friend that introduced me to Ken over the phone. Next thing you knew, I was on a flight to Honolulu, Hawaii. When I went to Hawaii, Ken had 3 jobs in Hawaii. And we started building that opportunity. And I can tell you, Ken and I had lots of fun. We were doing opportunity meetings on tour buses. We were even drawing compensation plan on the sand in Waikiki Beach. So, when I moved back to LA, Ken was gracious enough to let me stay in his apartment. I lost my car. I had no car. Even though I lost my car, I didn't lose my dream. I was out there showing the plan. I was out there talking to people. So Ken loaned me his car. Ken had a red Nissan Sentra. I would drop him to work. I would take his car. Then I would be going places to showcase the opportunity. Even though Ken and I have went separate ways in terms of business, we kept our friendship. On September 9 of 2009, I went on building a platform. Ken went on and building the biggest business furniture company in Southern California. So Ken, would you please say a few words? What was I like when I was 28 years old?
First, thank you, Kim. Yes, 30 years ago, 29 years ago, she's still the same, but she had a lot of fire back then, and I think she had more fire, but she could more cool down. Right now, you see Kim is more a lot cool down than before. But she always had that hope in her eye, the fires. I still remember this. When our friends called, but basically when I met her, right, our mutual friend, she joined a new company and is in telecom, and she sponsored one of my friends, and at that time, long distance is everything, right? They asked like, who do you know that make a long distance call? So my friend said, that's Ken, why you talks a lot, and she connect us on the phone, and I was thinking, okay, she might be just joking, right? Say, hey, do you know how many jobs you have, what do you do, and all this stuff. And she said, I'll come visit you guys. I thought she's just kidding. Next thing is like a week later, she showed up in Hawaii, and she said, hey, who do you know that wants to make money and all this stuff. So basically, I really inspire her the energy that she have and the belief she have. Yes, we went through a lot, and she's always there. She's always there for a lot of us. So.
Hey, Ken, you know what, Ken, thank you. Thank you for being my friend all these years. Ken right now has the biggest furniture company, business furniture company in Southern Cal. Daniel, Everett, I don't know if you see, he's got contacts with UCLA, USC, all the big banks. If you ever need a business, I don't think, no, he's not doing that no more, okay? Okay, now Ken, why 3? Why did you, look, you financially you're set. Why did you do 3?
What I want is I'm the face of my life. What I have right now, I work really hard and I'm very proud of what I built. But that business for me is just really local. I really want to travel, and I still remember in 2016 when I connected with Kim and she said she retired. I saw her, she traveled around the world. Besides making money, she makes so much impact. What I have right now, the company I just have just a little bit people. I want to make an impact as well. So my next journey, continuing journey is to follow Kim's path and build the dream.
All right, thank you, Ken, thank you. 31 years ago, I'm going to fast forward a couple of years ago. Now, 31 years ago, no car, no home, but full of hope. And a couple of years ago, I met this gentleman who's like another brother, a soul brother to me. And I want to take his perspective of what he saw. This in of itself is a life story. Please help me welcome to the stage, Mr. Gary Warren. So, Mr. Wharton.
You are always so full of surprises. My goodness.
Okay, so Gary and I first met. I like to tell you tell the story. Yeah, he has no idea what I was doing, what I did. All he knows is what I like to buy.
And she's good at it.
So maybe Gary, tell him what you saw as a human being, and also how 3 was brought up to you.
Okay, so Kim was introduced to me through another local business owner in Sedona who wanted me to meet her client, and Kim was at the time looking for a short-term rental. And so I remember scheduling it out. She got in my car that day, and I adored her from the very beginning, right? Like she just has that personality, right? Like you know your people, you're drawn to your people. And so we just had a lot of fun, and she really connected with me from the very moment. I want to say that we scheduled coffee. We even moved beyond that other friendship, and she went straight to the energy. And we just started to build a friendship, and it was really interesting because it's funny. I think I had known you for 3 years before I actually looked at him. And here's this person who's exploring. She's out in the world. We're on hiking trails together. We took so many wild metaphysical classes, and Simone is very still thing to do, by the way. And she was just in a chapter where she was from the outside, she was in rediscovery. She was trying to find a new path. You could tell that she had hit a part of her life, and it was time for a natural evolution, and she was out playing. And it was interesting. I think that, well, I mean, when I think back to 2021, 2022, this is the height of the pandemic, the real estate market got really crazy. This is the chapter of my life where my health took a negative turn. And this is when she asked me, she said, "What are you doing this for?" And she began these questions as a friend of helping me find out my why and why I was willing to do this. And it was interesting because at the same time, too, she was doing a different version of that herself. And she eventually got to a point that she said, "Look, I want to come back out. I want to come back out and I want to build a final project. I want to do a legacy project. I want to change the world. And if I do this, do you want to join me?" And I said, "Yes." Now, it's important to know, can I talk about some numbers? So I have been really fortunate. As a real estate agent, Kim is the big fish. And if you get to work with somebody like her, it'll open a lot of doors. I've represented her with $30 million in real estate. And so I trusted her. I have negotiated on her behalf on both sides of the aisle multiple times. And I have never met anybody in my life with more integrity than Kim. What you see on stage, you guys, is exactly what she did on stage. And so it was very easy for me. It was really easy for me to say yes. Now, the point that you should know is that I had no idea what I said yes to. And
Not even a company, no product, nothing.
nothing, absolutely, I knew nothing. But I said yes, I want to join you in whatever you're doing because I trusted her. So you can imagine the fool that I felt like when I saw her on stage in Asia for the first time. It's a different version of the Kim that I know, but it's still the same version.
Oh, thank you. So I want you to look at this. Gary, Ken, I have many brothers like this all over the world. Don't just look at outside. Your vibe attract your tribe. And I'm very grateful for you, Ken, and continue to be. And brother, continue to be. I love you both. Thank you very much for sharing. Thank you. So, Gary didn't know I was connecting with him and building trust. But all jokes aside, but that was a journey. That's an experiential journey for you to get to that point. And I truly was genuinely curious why Gary works so hard in the real estate market. 7 days a week. I said, why? What are you doing this for? And so when you find out what you care enough about the other person, when the right timing comes, when the right opportunity comes, you just share. And that's what it is. I hope that just a little demonstration, you get a little peek of a different side of me from behind the scenes from my friends. And we are all the same. I believe together, we're three, we will touch lives, we will impact lives and making a difference in this world. Thank you for being here, and thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Give Kim a big hand.